today's tip, we're going to hop back into Word here, and I want to talk about AutoCorrect. So I don't know if you've noticed, but if I type in a colon and a close bracket, it automatically turns into a smiley face. If I do equals equals and then a greater than symbol, I get an arrow. If I'm on my own line and I do 3 dashes and an enter, I get a horizontal rule across the page. So these are things called AutoCorrect, and they may or may not happen to you, and they may or may not be somewhat annoying. Maybe I'm typing in the number 1 and then a dot and then a space and it's automatically creating a list. So these things we can control, and we can control them through AutoCorrect options. So if in Word you ever type something and you didn't actually want that to happen, what you can do is you can move your mouse over the change that it made, and a little item is going to drop down. It's called a smart tag. It's a little blue bar with a lightning bolt underneath it. And then you can click that and get your options. So for example, on this one where I put a border across the page, I can say undo it that one time. I could tell it to stop creating border lines altogether, or I could even go into options. So if I wanted to change the arrow, I could put my cursor on the arrow, move my mouse over a little autocorrect, here we go, change back to that, stop automatically correcting, and so on. So we want to take a look at options for a minute. So I'm going to click on the little lightning bolt. I'm going to say control autocorrect options. So when you go in there, you get some normal default ones at the top, and then you get all these kind of special ones. Copyright symbol is a good one. You simply type this in, it will replace it with this. You get trademark, sad faces, smiley face, and there's a whole bunch of typos that are very common in Word, and they've added them to the list automatically. Now, if there was one that, let's say, you did all the time, okay, and you wanted to add it to the list. For example, I type about, let's say, like this by accident, and I'd like it to replace it with about. So I simply type in what I want to replace with, goes in this box, I can add it down, hit OK, and now we can of course test it out. So if I spell about the wrong way, as soon as I hit space, automatically fixes it. So those are some autocorrect options. In another video, we're going to talk about these math autocorrect options, which got added in a few years ago, and they can be actually quite handy if you deal with equations in Word. So for now, those are your autocorrect options. I'm going to leave you with one last thing actually. If you want to access them without actually getting it to autocorrect something, you can simply click File tab, go to Options, on the side go down to Proofing, and then click the AutoCorrect Options button. That's going to send you to the same place. So you can control your autocorrect from there without actually having to get through it through that smart tag.